Hey y'all, I thought I'd jump on here and share a little bit more about my experiences abroad and why there's a particular country that I most likely will not be returning to, and why you should think about the countries that you visit as well, especially if you're a single, solo traveling black woman. That is the only perspective that I can speak from. So, again, my name is Tamara. I'm a mom. I've lived abroad before. After the last election, I will be moving back abroad, and I'm taking you on this journey with me. Please remember to follow me on YouTube because I am going to transition to YouTube full time and put most of my energy into getting that channel up and running. So let's just jump right in. That country is the Dominican Republic. I most likely will not return to the Dominican Republic, even though I spent extensive time over there in the Santo Domingo side and the Punta Cana side, which I end up settling on. And I'll tell you, there's good things about the Dominican Republic I don't want to take from it. So one of the good things is that you can live lavishly for cheap. So I had a 2-floor penthouse on ocean front with ocean views from almost every window, and I was paying $1,200 a month. It also had its own private rooftop terrace, so you can live there very lavishly for inexpensive. There are very beautiful areas to visit in the Dominican Republic, and the dating scene is really good for African American women. Dominican men, a lot of them are very attracted to you, and organically I would find myself dating a lot. So my dating life really ticked up while I was in the Dominican Republic, to the point where sometimes I would really have to turn down a lot of offers, and you'll probably experience the same. Now, what would make me not return to the Dominican Republic? There's a couple of things. The first thing is that I felt like I was a walking dollar sign. Once people around you figure out you're American, every moment you walk outside of your door, people are looking to gain some type of access to you and gain some type of access to your money. That is from any type of aspect. Now, I mean, even restaurants. You can go in a restaurant and the price is this in the morning. You go back there in the afternoon, it's a different price in the afternoon because they know you are American. I felt that way from a lot of different perspectives. Also, because I ran my penthouse as an Airbnb when I wasn't there, and I had to deal with people in service as well. And I felt the same way. Felt taken advantage of by the maintenance people unless I had another Dominican woman speak on my behalf or a Dominican male speak on my behalf. Prices would be different. And felt taken advantage of. A specific thing that I felt taken advantage of was I had to hire a translator to help me with some documents, some contracts, referred translator. And I found out that this translator accessed my keys while I was not there from the main office, and him and his family stayed in my penthouse for a weekend while I wasn't there. And the only way I found out was the concierge told me, because they tried to get beach access and they were not on beach access roster. They needed my permission in order to get beach access. That's the only way I found out. So those things I found happening a lot, specifically with cleaners as well. Cleaners stealing stuff like cleaning solutions and paper towels and tissues. If they cannot ask for those type of things, I do feel uncomfortable being around people like that. I feel like I'd rather you just ask me for it than to steal it. Another thing that I felt like was a problem over in the Dominican Republic was water. So from two different aspects, we would always have water outages. That's why I'm always looking at infrastructure. And the water was not drinkable. So arriving in the DR in the middle of the night, which I did when I first got there, there was no drinkable water in the Airbnb that I was in. They didn't have to provide it, and there wasn't any. And it was so late that I couldn't just go out and get some water. And that made me feel very uncomfortable, especially knowing that I could have been with my kids or my pet that I travel with. Those type of things I really look at right now. Another thing that I felt like was transactional as far as money is concerned is you can have a personal driver for very, very inexpensive. And I did have a personal driver. But what I found about with that driver is that they always wanted me to always enticing me or asking me to take trips I didn't really need to take, or they wanted to know if I could give them rides that I really didn't have or a need for a ride. And if that didn't work, I'll just straight out asking for money. Again, be careful about people in service. They will be the closest to you, but they are not your friends, and you have to protect yourself still as a person, especially as a single American woman traveling alone. Now, another thing that I want to mention that was an issue for me was the trash. I found that there were a lot of trash issues there, whether it be with the country itself not having a good disposal system for sanitation, or it's just the attitudes of people. People literally would trash where they lived at, and you would have to stay in very specific type of places if you want to avoid seeing trash all the time. And over time, that kind of wears on you. It's a turn off. So that now there's another thing that I want to mention, which I felt like, and that was again not being able to trust particular people. I'll just leave it at that. I was going to give you another story about somebody that I can't trust, but they are trying to steadily regain my trust because it was a business relationship. But again, be careful there. There is discrimination that I've been told about, but I wasn't directly discriminated against for about my color. And that's some of the most egregious discrimination, is when somebody's the same color as you and they discriminate against you. And I was told that a lot of times by some of the sisters that I made friends with that were other African American, specifically darker complexion African American women. And I don't care for that or to be in that environment as well. So that is my experience with the Dominican Republic. I most likely will not return to the Dominican Republic. I'm going to ask you to drop any of your experiences in the comments, whether they be different from mine or different or added value for another country. So remember to follow me on YouTube. I will talk to you soon.